Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Syanne. If you are new here, welcome, and welcome to my very last video of 2023. Today is Christmas, so Merry Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas. Today we're going to be talking about how I achieved my goals for 2023. Now before we get into that, make sure that you are subscribed, turn on your post notifications, and like this video if you enjoyed it. That way you're notified when I upload brand new videos in the new year. I'm so excited for 2024 and the content that I'm going to have coming. So excited. But before we get to 2024, we need to talk about how I achieved my goals in 2023. My goals were, one, to be more financially aware of myself. My bills, have a better financial plan, having distinct schedule of when I'm going to do all of that. So I'm like, oh my God, did I pay this bill? I didn't want to do that anymore. Two was I wanted to develop a better and healthier lifestyle and like diet plan. Three was I wanted to have a really great hobby and sustain it and develop it and keep it for a long time. I also wanted to work on just being more aware of myself and spending time with myself, learning to be alone and do things as a single individual. How exactly did I get started with doing this? So I knew that I was going to have to make some serious habitual changes, and the biggest thing that I knew I was going to have to do was research first. I'm a very research-based person. I love researching. I love getting more information and learning. So I knew that that was going to be my first step. And the two ways I did that was YouTube, which I will talk about and leave some YouTubers linked down below that I did a lot of gaining knowledge from. They were really influential in kind of developing the things that I decided to take on and do. But I also knew that I wanted to reread a book. That book was Atomic Habits by James Clear. When I picked it apart, hence all of my sticky notes. Actually, something I'm going to say is I'm going to reread, skim through whatever this book for 2024 in preparation of the new year. Biggest takeaways for making a habit easier to introduce to your life: making it obvious, making it attractive, and make it easy. Going under healthy diet, let's talk about it. For a healthy diet, what I decided to kind of like write a mantra for and kind of a step guide was, when I serve myself a meal, I will always put veggies on my plate first. After I add the other desired food to my plate, I will eat the veggies first. After I eat all of the veggies, I will eat the desired food. I'll take on smaller portions. I was going to track my veggie intake, but I actually never ended up doing that because I was able to establish that habit so quickly. It took me less than a month and it was no longer a thought in my head, and it felt so good because I was always a person that would kind of like put everything on my plate and the last thing that I would eat would be the vegetable. The other one that is even better of an explanation is for my financial goals. When I go upstairs for the night, I will budget for the week. After I set out my book, I will budget for the week. After I budget for the week, I will read my book. Leave checkbook on desk. Once the budgeting is done, I get to check off the task in my calendar. Specifically, what I wanted to establish is a weekly routine of constantly doing bills, constantly updating my checkbook, constantly looking at my bank account and being like, okay, here's where my money is going. And I have two sets of income, and I really wanted to make sure that those were being utilized in the best areas and everything was being filtered in appropriately. And making it obvious was I was going to do this on Fridays after I got home from both jobs and I was ready to come upstairs for bed. My reminder and the making it obvious thing was leaving my checkbook out on my desk. When I left for work, that was the first thing I was going to do, leave that out on the desk, so when I came upstairs at night, I saw it, and that was my reminder. Once I came upstairs for the night is get out my book. So say it's Atomic Habits or whatever book I was reading at that time, I would set on my nightstand or I would set next to me on my bed. That was going to be my reward for doing the budgeting. So next I actually needed to do the budget, but I was going to keep it simple. I was going to keep it sweet. I wasn't going to make it complex. And then I was going to be able to read a part of my book if I wanted to for the night. That is how I made it obvious, attractive, and easy. And I love that tool. It made it so simple for me to add that to my monthly, my weekly routine. And oh my gosh, it made it so much easier. There were very few times that I struggled and stressed over like, oh my God, did I pay this bill? No, because I was so on top of everything. There was definitely points and times where I faltered, definitely times that I'm sure I went for the mac and cheese over, the asparagus, but I still knew that what I needed to do and what was going to be better for me in the long run. Besides Atomic Habits, I also took on some research in the YouTube atmosphere. If I was going to be a YouTuber, I might as well take advantage of YouTube and get some information and some research done from them. And like I said, I will leave all of the YouTubers that I found and kind of took on inspiration from in my description box below. But one that I really did get a lot of information from was Michelle. And she, oh my God, her channel is so aesthetically pleasing and also just really, I don't know, attainable is the word that comes to mind, like realistic, able to be done. And I did so much deep diving in her channel to get inspiration, motivation, all of these things from. I tried a lot. Sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't. And that's something that I will reiterate too, is something that works for me and may not for you, and vice versa. Something that I did take on from her suggestion was creating a master to-do list and a weekly to-do list. And I kind of think I established this even in 2022, but I didn't use it to its best ability. I really wanted to have something and allow myself to just get all of the things off my head. And I don't need the extra and added weight of all of those tiny little tasks that I could just have a to-do list for. So I have a master to-do list and then I have a weekly to-do list. I brain dump, and you've seen if you watch my monthly reset videos, which I will leave a card here. I know that it is much more beneficial for me to brain dump into my master to-do list all of the things that I've thought about doing. So I can go back to it and I'm like, that's right, I completely forgot about I wanted to do that. And it's there, and it's not me having to remember and be honestly responsible for that thought. And then every week or every few weeks, I can pull from that master to-do list and throw it on my weekly to-do list, and slowly but surely I'll get so much done. Let me tell you, that has been one of the best things that I've done this year, because I have accomplished so much. Something else which I have been mentioning quite often is doing monthly resets. Monthly resets is something that I think a lot of YouTubers do. If you're in that space of YouTube and you are an avid watcher, or if you really like productivity videos, then you've probably seen a few. You may have even seen mine. They're my favorite type of video to film. They're one of my favorite types of videos to consume. I started off with a weekly reset, and that was too much. I did 2 months of a trial of trying monthly resets by myself, kind of seeing what worked for me and what didn't. And then I finally filmed my very first one for June, I believe. And I realized not only did I love doing it, it was so productive, it was so motivational, but I also loved filming it. So that was content. I was able to get and stay on top of so much. Creating a reset schedule, oh my gosh, you guys, it is so worth it. Even if you can't do once a month, if that's too much for you, do maybe like once a quarter, once every 2 months. Like, pick something that works specifically for you, but once a month is perfect. If you want to know what a monthly reset looks like for me, I will leave the playlist linked here. The way that I use and create my monthly reset and do a lot of things, including my master to-do list and my weekly to-do list, is in Google Keep. I love Google Keep. It's something that is really, really helpful. I wanted something that wasn't going to be a monthly fee, but I also wanted something that I could access on my phone, tablet, and my laptop. And Google Keep is that for me. Along with every other Google product, I am able to get to it from any device, and I love that. But how do you come up with a plan? The first thing that you need to do is ask yourself questions. You kind of need to have a little interview with yourself. You need to know what you actually want. The first question you need to ask yourself is, what areas in your life are you looking to change? Are you looking to change where you live? Are you looking to change your diet? Are you looking to change your financial situation, your job, your relationship? What are you looking to do? Next question you need to ask yourself, which is super helpful, is what do I want my life to look like in 5, 10, 20, or 30 years from now? Dream big, think large, go for the biggest dream. Go for the thing that you would love to have. Go for the thing that you would love to attain. Nobody is stopping you other than yourself from achieving that. And that's been a big life lesson that I've realized in the last few weeks. Nobody is stopping me from living the life I want. I am. I'm the only thing stopping me. I am currently in that state of mind. I don't think, and I didn't think that I could live the life that I want to live because I'm not anywhere near close to being there. But it's kind of like that fake it till you make it mentality, and I'm really diving deep into that. Start writing down your goals. Are they to make more money? Are they to get a house? Are they to buy a house? And that's when you finally go into your goal setting, maybe changing your habits up. One thing that I did that I think helped a lot, and I started talking about it just a few minutes ago, is the fake it till you make it mentality. Now, I used to really hate that saying, and I didn't believe in it, and I didn't like it because it just seemed so negative. I actually ended up listening and watching Prager. He is a very influential, very intellectual individual, and I was listening and watching a series that he did with the Daily Wire. He had said something about that fake it till you make it mentality, and that it's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. I'm saying this very verbatim, but it has great benefit. It is your job to fake being happy. It is your job to pretend to be happy. The first gateway to being happy is to be grateful. Your next one is to fake it. Nobody wants to be around somebody that isn't happy. Nobody wants to be around somebody that is just like, woe is me. It's nobody else's job to make you happy. You have to make you happy first. And I was like, oh my God, that's such a simple freaking thing, but it changed my thought process on the fake it till you make it. And I started thinking about how can I apply that in other avenues of my life. Like, I want to be a wife so bad, and I want to be a mom so bad, and I want to have a house so bad and own my own home, and I want to do these things in my home and design this and do that and host parties and cook more and be a mom and be a caregiver. All of these wonderful, great things. I feel like I'm so far from attaining all of that. Fake it till you make it. So what I started doing is I started incorporating, well, I'm going to cook more at home. I'm going to cook for my family. I'm going to cook and provide a dinner for the family that I have. I have 4 individuals, sometimes 5, at home with me. I can go to my friend's house and cook for them. I can offer my friends to go out and I can watch their son. I can step into that maternal role. I can take on more with my dog. I can take more on with work, learning more, attaining more. I can try new programs. I can develop new things. I can have a plan and establish a platform and a creative outlet. I can also decide to take on more and start to learn more and broaden my horizons and my confidence, and then I can try dabbling in dating and really seriously going for it. I started faking it till I made it, and I'm really in that right now. And oh my gosh, I have not felt so fulfilled in a really long time, and it will just get me more ready and prepared to do those things when the time is right, when I finally buy my own home, when I finally get married, when I am ready and able and already aware of how to care for a child. I'm going to be so ready, and I'm going to be so prepared, and I'm going to have so much wisdom. I really want to be, because I am able to go to my mom and ask her so many questions. You went through this. What do you do for that? She has lived so much of life at even such a young age. She's only 45 years old, and she has so much wisdom already, and she is such an intellectual person. And just commonsensical person. Like she's so intelligent in so many ways, and I want to be like her in so many ways. And one of those is I want my kids and my nieces and my nephews to be able to come to me someday and be like, Aunt Cy, I am in this situation and I don't know what to do. What did you do when you were my age? Or have you ever been in this circumstance or whatever? And I want to be able to live as much life and attain as much knowledge as I possibly can, whether it's knowledge through experience or knowledge through a book. I want to be able to have all of that knowledge and wisdom and be able to give advice and teach in a way and guide. I want to be a sounding board and a resource to my friends and my family. Deciding to live the way that I am is how I'm going to get there. Back in March, I started reading a book, How to Be a Badass at Making Money, or something along those lines. I'll leave the link for the book down below. I was reading the book and she talked about, Jen, the author, about she needed to invest in herself. And again, verbatim, but she needed to invest in herself. And to do that, she needed to spend money, literally invest. She needed to spend money to get money. And one of the things that I thought of was, because something that she did was ended up getting a life coach, and I was like, this sounds so amazing. Sounds like such a great thing. I don't want to spend thousands of dollars to do this thing, but I would really love the opportunity for the information and the support and all of this. And I was like, no, I don't have the money for it. I don't have the money or the resources to be able to spend the money on myself to make money or to learn this new thing or whatever. First of all, that mentality is wrong. You're wrong in thinking that. You're just scared. I quickly realized, I would say probably like 3 or 4 months later, which that might not seem quick to some of you, but it was for me, that I was doing that. Shortly after I started reading the book, I found my therapist, and I started off therapy with her, unintentionally going into it, not knowing if she was going to be my therapist for the long run. We started and I immediately was so comfortable with her. Thankfully, we continued together. She's still my therapist now, and actually, she is a life coach. Very exciting because I have her for literally every avenue. We've discussed my relationships, we've discussed past traumas, ins and outs of my brain, my anxiety, my depression, ins and outs of dating, and also, like I said, career. And it's so exciting because I didn't realize until like 3 months ago that I had a life coach. Something that I wanted months ago, back in the beginning of the year, I actually have now. I feel like such a different person than the Syanne that was sitting over there 6-9 months ago. I am such a different person than that Syanne then. And it's, thinking about it right now, like I could cry because I was so nervous and so scared the start of this year because I didn't have a therapist, and I ended the year 2022 with losing out on my therapist, and I had made such a huge impact, and I was so nervous I wasn't going to be able to find that again. And my big goal of this year was to continue therapy, and it took me several months to find something, and I finally did. And my therapist now, my life coach as I call her, is phenomenal. I'm so much stronger. I actually just made a huge life choice this week, and a huge decision, and I'm so glad I was able to stick by my side, which sounds weird, but I was able to support myself in the best way possible, and I'm so proud of myself for that. All right, so without getting too much more sappy, the last thing I just want to say is pick things and dream big. Life is short. Have fun with it. Enjoy your time with thinking of the things that you want to do and achieve. And you don't have to do it just because it's a new year. I actually started my goals for 2023 in February. There's no expectation for you to start a goal or try something new. The only one putting that on you is yourself. If you want to try and start something new, you want to go for your goal, you want to change up your goal, you want to do whatever, go for it. Nobody's stopping you except for yourself. Nobody's judging you. Nobody cares. The only person that cares is you. And that's good. You should care, but not to the extent that you're stopping yourself. There are so many days in a year. There are so many days in a month that if you decide that the goal that you set at the beginning of the year or the beginning of the month is not the same as what you're feeling now, that's fine. You can say, fuck that goal, fuck that mentality, that idea. I want to change and I want to do this. That is okay. That is completely and totally acceptable. I think I talked about that in my 25 things I've learned in my 25 years of life video. Is it's okay to change your mind. It's okay to develop. You should be. You should never stay stagnant. And oh my God, you should never feel pigeonholed to an idea that you created. I did that with my health. I started with the year thinking I was going to get into a fitness and diet routine, and now I'm trying a cycle syncing method. I want to go through a couple of little things that were my biggest achievers for the year, just to kind of like give myself a pat on the back, but also say like these are attainable, to kind of go along with like I shifted my mentality on some things. Therapy, we sustained with therapy. We know how we feel about therapy. I was able to read 12 books this year and I had a goal of 10. Something else I focused on was myself this year. I really delved into what I wanted to do and the things that I wanted to take on and what I wanted to focus my time on. One of the huge things being YouTube, and another being taking time for myself and doing the things that I really loved, and kind of like romanticizing my life. I think that's a huge thing that a lot of people do, and you see that on Instagram Reels and TikTok all the time, you know, romanticizing your life, but it actually can be really, really good for you. Something that I started to do was, which you saw in my winter reset if you watched that video, I started off the morning with sitting in bed and working, but also watching YouTube, and I do that often. It's just a calming way for me to watch TV and be relaxed, but also get work done. I think a huge thing that I did this year is really self-reflecting. I did a lot of inward thinking and work on myself and being honest with myself through therapy. Decided to do the hard work and learn a lot about myself, and it's actually my favorite topic, is learning more about what I enjoy, because then I'm able to apply that. Being selfish is not necessarily a negative thing, especially if you are the type of person to do things for people a lot. You're not supposed to live your life for others. I want to live my life for me, and I just so happen to want to live my life in a way that I do eventually provide for others, that I'm a wife and a mom. That's my biggest goal in my life, is to be a wife and a mother. And I can't wait for that day when I'm able to obtain that. But right now, I really want to do what I love and decide to have fun and learn about me and do the things that interest me, and decide to really spend time with myself. I think that's something really beautiful, is I'm learning the pieces of me right now, and I'm hoping that I can establish them so well that come the time that I am a wife and a mom, I can share that with my family, and I can also lean on those things when I'm going through difficult times, because just because I'm happy doesn't mean that I'm not going to go through difficult hardships, and I want to make sure that I've established that I love to learn, and that's what makes me feel good and what fuels me. So when I'm feeling stuck, when I'm on maternity leave and I am homebound, I can say, all right, I know what will make me feel good and what will fuel me. Let's turn on a podcast. I kind of went off on a whole tangent. I did not expect this video to be as long. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you had a wonderful 2023. I really, really do. Have a Merry Christmas. I hope you're not watching this when you should be spending time with your family. Go spend time with them. But I'm really glad that you did take time out to watch this video. Really can't wait for 2024 and all of the ideas that I have for this channel and for content I want to create. If you have anything that you would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. Again, make sure you subscribe and turn on your post notifications. I am very excited to start the new year off with a bang with some really great videos. So yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful life. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful new year. Please be safe, make smart decisions, have fun, learn a lot, and enjoy your time with your family and your friends. Bye, guys.